Perfect. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm sure people will be hopping on as we kind of go through this, but we didn't want to keep anybody too long. But welcome to the Team Freedom call that we do every Thursday night. We typically start out with celebrations, but I think we're going to do the celebrations at the end before we close in prayer, just so we can go ahead and get started on time. I'm Rebecca Huff. I've been a coach for 3 years now. I kind of took a 2-year break and then recently just got back into coaching probably in the past 6 months. We had a surprise pregnancy. We have 5 children, ages 10, 8, twins that are 6. We have boy-girl twins, and we have a 21-month-old. So we have 4 boys and 1 girl. And we had a few years ago, we had a surprise pregnancy, and my body wasn't supposed to be pregnant. So we had a lot of complications and ups and downs and different things. And I kind of secluded myself. I still kept in touch with like people on the team. But as far as social media, I completely backed away. I didn't want to share my story. I didn't want people to know what was going on in my life. I didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me. So I just kind of shut down because I wasn't sure at that point what the outcome of the pregnancy was going to be. It was kind of up and down the entire way. But what I'm touching on tonight is don't hold other people's future captive in your mouth. And I'm sorry if I'm drinking throughout this, but I've had a sore throat for a few days. And so my voice is real kind of crackly. And so that's going to kind of get me through it. And I'm also drinking Energized to keep me awake too. All right. So I don't know if you guys know what that means. Don't hold other people's future captive in your own mouth. But it was something that I was taught about when I first became a coach. And it was very humbling to me. And it's basically just about, it's the whole reason we share. We are actually in control of other people's futures, whether we believe it or not. If we hold everything in and we don't share with other people, then we are kind of holding their future captive. If they don't know what we have to offer, if they don't know what we do, if they don't know what we have to share and the support that we have and the love that they could be surrounded by, we are holding their future captive by not sharing that. And what it does when we don't share is it basically makes it about us and not about them. And I constantly have to remind myself of that when I am sharing something on social media that is a little bit vulnerable, which most of the stuff we share is being vulnerable, that it is not about me, it is about them. I very rarely share transformation stuff. I have a hard time sharing about weight changes for me. One of the main reasons I struggle with that is because I don't like to toot my own horn. I have a big problem doing that. And I don't want people to think that I'm just on there bragging. Now, if I'm struggling, I can definitely share that if I'm struggling, because I feel like it'll make other people feel good if I'm struggling. But if I'm feeling good and great and losing weight, and I have a hard time sharing the good stuff because I don't want to make someone else feel bad, which even that is holding their future captive, because we want to teach others that it's okay to celebrate themselves. It's okay to love on themselves. It's okay to be proud of themselves. It's not something to be ashamed of. You don't just have to share when you're struggling with something. It's okay to share the good stuff too. But it's basically about putting our ego aside, because it's not supposed to be about us. And so I have just about 9 main things that I'm going to cover. And then I wanted to touch on some different feedback that I've received this week just from sharing for others. But the first thing is most of us do not like inviting. It's hard to invite, but that's making it about us. If we don't invite and we don't put ourselves out there, then we may not be saving someone else's life. We may not be giving them the tools that they need to help their marriage, to save their relationship with their child, to save their own health. My health pre-Beachbody, I was pre-diabetic. My sugar levels were way off. And I had high cholesterol, and they were trying to put me on cholesterol medication. I wasn't super overweight. At that point, I was probably about 20 pounds heavier than what I am right now. So it wasn't an extreme amount of weight, but it was just enough weight that it made me pre-diabetic, and they wanted to put me on cholesterol medication. And so I'm telling you, you may look at someone and think, oh, they're really in shape. Like, people looked at me at that point and was like, oh, she's fine. She's great. You're healthy. Why do you think you need to do a bunch of stuff? And it's like, no, actually I wasn't. Like, I needed someone to reach out to me. Like, Kelly's my coach. I saw Kelly at an event, and started following her a little bit and found out what she did. And I was really struggling. I knew my health needed to change. At that point, we had 4 kids. I was frustrated. I was short tempered because I wasn't feeling good. But people do not know that. No one knew that about me. And we can't prejudge and know that about anyone else either. And that's why we need to share. So basically, to do that, you need to kind of stay in phase 1. That is something I've been reminded of. Until you're almost a diamond coach, if you're doing this for the business, stay in phase 1. That's what this is all about. We're supposed to be connecting, following up, sharing, inviting. And if you really are in it for the business, then you need to be tracking. Like, don't worry about all the other stuff, all the extra trainings that come along. Do this stuff first. And do something, a quote that I wrote down was, do what you are supposed to do and how you are supposed to do it. That's it. It's that simple. This business really is that simple. Do what you are supposed to do and how you are supposed to do it. And something that I always remind myself of with this team is that we love hard and we serve well. That's something I feel like that sets our team apart from a lot of others, is that we focus more on the people that we are serving rather than, oh, we just need all these SC points, or, oh, we just need this. Yes, we all want to maximize the compensation plan. We all need this money to help contribute to, or most of us need this money to contribute to our family's finances. However, we still love hard and serve well, which in my eyes, we're doing it the correct way. Know your value. Know your value. Don't be afraid to invite. That's part of loving hard and serving well. Yes, we love hard and serve well, but you also need to understand what your value is. And also give yourself permission to help those that are ready. And if they aren't ready yet, move on. It's okay. It's okay to be like, all right, moving right along. I really have had a lot less guilt about that the past few weeks than I feel like I ever have since I've been a coach. I used to feel guilty when people would tell me no. I used to feel bad, especially if I wanted something for them, that something more for someone else than they wanted for themselves, which that is really hard to watch. When you see someone that really is struggling and you're putting yourself out there and you know how much this would help their life and they're not ready. Man, it is hard. It is a gut punch. But it's okay. Move on. Keep moving on. Keep helping people that are ready, but keep loving on that person. Keep supporting that person. Keep checking back in on them. It's not like, I always felt like if I couldn't convince them that this was the best thing for them, then I was just kind of leaving them behind. No, it's not leaving them behind. However, if I stopped sharing my journey, and if I stopped putting myself out there and I just dropped off the face of the earth and they never heard from me again, yeah, I kind of would be leaving them behind. But as long as you stay present on social media and you're checking in with people that weren't ready and the timing is not right, and ask them. That is a big thing that I'm working on, is asking someone, when would you like me to check back with you? Would you like me to check back next month? Or are you thinking after Christmas might be a better time for you? Or even, this is just not your season right now. Some people, it might be 6 months. Some people, it might be a few years. We just don't know, but we don't know until we ask. All right. Number 2, stop worrying about what other people think. Something with this is, don't let them write your story. Don't let them tell you what your story is going to be. We create our own story. We make our coaching story. We create it. We run it. We live it. If someone else tells us no, don't let them write that on our story. No, move right along. Don't let them be a damper to what your mission is in this business and who you intend to help. Don't let them write your story for you. That's what that means. And if you don't share and invite because you're worried what other people are going to think, then that's where it comes back to, you are holding other people's future captive in your mouth. And I wanted to pull something up here, and because this one really touches on it, and I'm glad I snapped a picture of it. I don't know if do any of you follow Rachel Hollis? Does anybody follow Rachel Hollis or read any of her books? So she posted something on Instagram today. Her brother-in-law passed away. And which I sometimes read her long spiels and sometimes I don't. And I just happened to read the one today, and I felt like I read it because I was talking about this tonight. The stop worrying about what other people think. Um, so she was writing, and I'm just kind of skimming through here because I really, really want, yeah. It says, you're so worried what other people think, and if tomorrow doesn't come for you, none of it will matter. And it really, really will not matter. I wish I would have highlighted this for you all because it was really, she wrote a few other things about just, it's, yeah. So when you're gone, it won't matter whether or not someone didn't like you. And I feel like that's a big part of why it's hard for us to post and to share. It's because we all want to be liked. We don't want people to think bad of us. We don't want people to judge us. It says it's not going to matter if they thought you were too bold, too loud, too extra. It's not going to matter how many likes on Instagram that you got. It's not going to matter, that your mother-in-law didn't understand your ambition or didn't understand why you were doing this business. It's interesting she wrote that. I struggle with that, about what family thinks of why I do this business and why I share on social media. Some of them think that it's inappropriate, and just why would you share that? Why would you talk about that? All that's supposed to be personal. But they don't understand the purpose. Like what we have could save people's lives. It could save marriages. It can save families. It can create a whole different culture for how people are raising their kids. There is a bigger mission here that most people don't get, and it's okay. It's okay if they don't get it. We get it. God knows we get it. And ultimately that's kind of what is really going to matter. All right. Number 3 is when someone is ready for a change or ready to make money, then the time is right. So basically that comes into our challengers. That comes into our coaches. When someone is actually ready, the time is right, but they have to be ready. Challengers have to be ready to make a change. If somebody's becoming a coach for business purposes, they are ready to make a change, but that's when the time is right. And it's like, do not be afraid to ask them, are you ready for a change? Or for someone that really wants to coach for money, are you ready to make money? Because if they are, then they need to be willing to do what it takes to either have the changes happen in their body and in their family and in their life, or to make money. If they're wanting to be a coach for an income, then they have to be ready to do what it takes to make money. And that's kind of a gut check for some people too. And some people will get on the wagon and then struggle when they're kind of met with a little bit of resistance or a little bit of challenges, and they may back off. And that's going to just help them get better and improve. All right. Number 4, sharing our purpose and sharing our mission. So purpose, about sharing purpose. The root of most people's depression is actually because they don't have a purpose. They don't have a purpose. There's so many people that deal with depression these days. It's because they don't have a purpose. Think of people that don't have children to care for. I know when my husband and I were told that we weren't able to have children back when we first got married. And now 5 children later, science isn't everything. We were told scientifically we couldn't conceive. God had different plans. However, when I was faced with that, it was really, really hard because I was like, I thought that was going to be my purpose in life, was to be a mom. And then I was like, oh, great. What is my purpose going to be? What am I supposed to do? I was already working in corporate America. That didn't fuel me. I mean, I was an accountant and an auditor. I was an IT auditor. So, but it's about, the reason we share our purpose is to help other people realize that there is more out there that they might need. Think about what drives you and gets you excited. And that's what you need to share. What drives you and what gets you excited? For me, what drives me is helping others. It was hard for me to be an auditor all those years. I loved auditing. However, people did not like me. People don't really like auditors. And it was hard. It was hard. I felt like I wasn't necessarily helping others, even though I really was, because I was helping the companies that I was auditing to help improve their processes and their businesses. But people don't really like auditors. And so that was a struggle, but that's what drives me, really, is helping others. And something that is also, when you're struggling with sharing your purpose and your mission, is I want you to ask yourself, how do I dare tell my kids to chase their dreams if I'm not willing to? And for me, that's kind of a big one. I tell my kids to chase their dreams all the time. And if it's a dream of mine to help as many people as I can possibly help, but I'm sitting back in my office too scared to send out an invite or too scared to make a post, I need to actually write. I have it written down in a few different places in my notes, but I need to write it on a post-it note and put it on my computer. How dare I tell my kids to chase their dreams if I'm not willing to? And also something to remember that I was talking to Angie about earlier was no one else is going to want our dreams like we do. No one's going to want our dreams like we do. It's completely up to us to set the boundaries to reach and achieve our dreams, because no one is going to want them like we do. Even when our kids have dreams and our spouse has dreams, we aren't going to understand the depth of their dreams like they do. We're just not going to get it. So for us, it's really going to be important for us to set the boundaries to be able to move forward to get to our dreams. All right. How am I on time? I want to make sure I'm not taking too much time. All right. So number 5 I want you guys to really, really consider and make a list of the people that you are robbing if you don't share an invite. Like, who are you robbing? Who are you robbing if you don't share an invite, if you don't put yourself out there? For me, I wrote down myself, my family, and those in need that I've never met. That's a lot. And if we stand still, then we're failing all of those people. And it's always better to help some than none. Sometimes I get in a rut and I feel like I'm not helping enough people. And then I get a message from someone thanking me for what I've done for them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if that's all I did in 3 years is help that one person with that, this was worth it. I mean, it really, really is. The magnitude of what we do for other people is immeasurable. It just really is. Okay, number 6. This is a good one, guys. I think all of these are good, of course, because I wrote them down and because I've learned them and I've wrote them down. So I think they're all good. So I'm sorry if I keep saying this is really good. Number 6 is, are you afraid of getting beat down? Are you afraid of getting beat down? And you know what? I have written in quotes, welcome to making a difference. This was something thank you, Sarah. This was something I learned from Josh Coates in one of his trainings last few weeks ago. I did a 5-day training from Josh Coates, and some of this is from his training. It's like, man, yes, we get beat down. We're going to have people judge us, say not nice things to us, challenge us on our knowledge, tell us not to sell them on stuff. They don't understand our message. But guess what? If you want to make a difference, like, be prepared to get beat down a little bit. Look at everyone in our entire history that has made a difference. I mean, Martin Luther King, really. We could go on and talk all night about everyone in our lifetimes and before that have made a difference in this country and in our lives. And well, guess what? They got beat down a lot. And so just be ready. Armor up. Number 7, you're afraid of not being good enough to help others. And some days I start to feel like, why would someone want to work with me? Sometimes I'm a complete hot mess. Sometimes I'm not the best mom. Sometimes I don't eat the best. Sometimes, I'm not 100% in my challenge groups, or I'm not available to my challengers like I should be every second of the day, which you should never be available to anyone every second of the day. That's setting a very, very bad standard. Don't do that, because you don't want them to feel like they ever have to do it either. But guess what? If you think you're not good enough to help others, we have this small little tiny company called Beachbody. And it's so true, guys. We have so much power behind us. We don't have to have everything everybody needs. We don't have to have anything they need except a smile on our face and be willing to direct them to where they need to go. But I mean, really, guys, it's all the tools we need. Beachbody has all the tools we need. And if you think that this was something that Josh Coates said, and I want you guys to write this one down. If you are beating yourself up over not being someone else's savior and helping them reach success, and if you think that you are responsible for being their savior, It makes you arrogant and ignorant because there is only one Savior, and it is not us. We are not responsible for other people's success. Thinking of it that way gave me permission to let other people fail. If I can give them the tools, and if they still fail, it's not on me. And when I first got into the business, I held that responsibility. Yeah, amen. I held that responsibility because I felt like if someone wasn't succeeding at a program or succeeding in their nutrition, I was doing something wrong. Guess what, guys? When you give somebody the tools, stand back, give them the support, give them the love, give them the tools, and then let them run with it. And if they don't, moving right along, hopefully they will get to a point in their lives where the time is better and the time is right, and then they will come back and ask for your help and be like, man, that timing was just horrible for me. I started dealing with this. I mean, how do you think Kelly felt when I backed away from coaching when I got pregnant? Like, she let me have my season. She supported me and loved me through my season. And that was kind of a different situation, but still, she didn't try to be my savior. She didn't try to fix it for me. I mean, that's not who we are, guys. All right. Number 8, you might be afraid of saying the wrong thing. All you got to do is listen and ask questions. That's it. Listen and ask questions. You don't have to say too much. Because we take the time to listen to our customers, we can serve their needs and get them what they need instead of getting what we need. If we are listening to people, if we're really, really listening to them and asking them questions, we are going to get them what they need and not what we need. It may not always be if they need a challenge back. I mean, we know that that's, financially the best plan in the long run. However, some people really just want to start with on demand. And then the last thing I wanted to cover was your vibe on social media, your vibe when you're talking to other people, your vibe when you're inviting, your vibe when you're following up, your vibe when you're connecting with people and chatting with people on the side. It is going to attract your tribe. Your vibe will attract your tribe. It really will. And Summer touched on it last week when she did the call, was taking time to transition. Take time to transition into the role that you're doing. If you're going to sit down somewhere and invite, take a few minutes to transition out of what you were doing before and into what you're doing now. Tonight, I had to come down here a few minutes early to get things set up because I'm in the basement because my husband's putting the kids to bed. And I had to kind of get my stuff out, kind of read through my stuff, give myself just a few minutes to transition into what you're going to do, because your vibe is going to attract your tribe, whether it's your challengers, coaches, whatever it is. Your energy is going to completely set the tone. Okay. That's all I have for that. My goal was to be done before 9 and it's 6 till, so I'm happy with my time. I wanted to share something with you all that someone sent me in just a message this past week. She says, and this is a girlfriend from college I have not spoken to in over 20 years. She said, "Girl, I just want to tell you that I love your post. Thanks for keeping it real and helping motivate people to make themselves better. I just wanted you to know someone is watching and appreciates it." And then she sent me another one and said, "When someone shares only the positive, it doesn't seem real." But I'm like, guys, she ended up, yes, those are the best messages. I had a few more just from random people. And I felt like God knew that I needed those messages on those days. It had kind of been one of those times where we kind of get in a lull, like we're sharing. And we're like, okay, people, I need some good feedback. I need someone to say something positive to me. Like someone comment something nice for me besides one of the coaches on our team. Like, we all try to love on each other and lift each other up, but it's like, sometimes it's nice to hear something from someone else. And it's just like, that was like, yes, it is. It's affirmation dry pits. That's what we need. And I'll tell you, Kelly has said it time and time again, to save these little comments. If you get them, I mean, I've probably gone, I don't know, almost 2 years now without a nice, good comment. Like you may have some real dry spells, but I'm telling you, I even told Kelly, I sent this to her and I told her, and I was just like, this is the ripple effect. Like this is an affirmation for Kelly too. It's not just for me. Like what I'm doing and sharing is because of her. And I wanted to read this to her to help her feel better, because it's like what she is doing matters, because it's trickling down to me. And then I'm doing things that are mattering to other people. And it's just like, guys, it really is the ripple effect. That's what they talk about. So, all right. Questions. Anybody have any questions? I haven't really, let me pull up the thing. Anything. I mean, I don't know. I think something fun to ask would be, what do you, take a few seconds, you can post it in the comments, or you can, I don't know if everybody is muted or how that works, but you can always post in the comments, what do you feel like is holding you back? If you're holding someone's future captive in your mouth, what is it that's making you hold it captive? Yes. 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 Pride, our ego, fear of getting rejected. Man, and I hate to tell you all something like this, that's all about us. It's all about us. I'm like, if we can just get over ourselves, think of how many more people we can help. It's hard. We're human. It's hard to put ourselves out there. But if we look back at what our team does, loving hard and serving well. Yes. Yeah. Like, why me? So many coaches out there with other businesses. I get into that rut too. I have those thoughts cross my mind. Yep. Too much competition. This comment came to me after, I think, a week of rejections. Megan knows, a girl from my church became a coach, and those years that I was off with my pregnancy, she ended up recruiting a bunch of my friends, like my friends, like, and so I'm now just getting around to re-inviting these people, or some of them re-inviting, but some of them inviting them, and they're working with her. And it's like, oh, wow. Well, maybe she's already got all of our friends from church. Maybe she's already invited everybody. Maybe I shouldn't invite this person, because what if she already has? I completely stopped that week. I stopped asking those people. There were a whole big group of people that I knew from church that were in a free group. And I got too many hits from that about the competition, and that they had gone to work with her. And I literally was heartbroken. I mean, I even told them, because they're friends of mine. I was like, I am so sad you're not my challenge group. Like, that actually did make me sad. Oh, see, that's hard. That's hard, Sarah. Oh, no, you did not. Oh, good job, Megan.
I like messaged my coach. I was like, I just want to let you know I sent this invite to your best friend. Sorry. I was like, you can jump right in there.
So now you need to invite her and be like, actually, Megan is my coach, and she actually did it for me. So what do you think?
Baby steps.
And sometimes what I've done, if that happens, or for example, I also have a challenger, and she talked her sister into becoming a challenger. And I'm like, if she ever signs up as a coach, I'm going to ask her if she wants to move her sister under her, because like she flat out brought her sister. Like, I'm fine if her sister ends up being her or her challenger, or even a coach under her. And so there's nothing wrong if you do accidentally invite someone else's that's in your downline or in your challengers, and then they're working the business. You could be like, actually, they can be yours. They could be yours, and I can support you and help you with that. But
right.
That's always a tricky situation. That one's hard. I think Kelly and I ran into that when I first started coaching, and she was like, wait a minute, do you know that person? And I was like, yeah, I've invited him. She was like, I am so sorry. I've been forming with them. I will stop. And I was like, it's okay. And she was like, no, really, I'm going to stop talking to that person. Like,
it is totally ghost with them.
Yes. I'm like, Kelly, don't do that.
That's happened to me a few times, Sarah.
It just happens.
Usually I feel like that happens when their coach isn't really active, though. So sometimes they need a coach.
Yeah, well, and that's true too. Yeah.
I've had people transfer to me before, but because their coach isn't active anymore, or
Man, I should probably not be chugging the rest of an Energite night. That's at 9 o'clock.
That's tough. If I drink it at 4 o'clock, I can't go to bed till like midnight.
I'm like, I already can't hardly talk, but it tastes so good. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, I think we should probably close out. Oh, no, celebrations. Let's celebrate some things because we just talked about celebrations, how celebrations are hard. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. You guys can celebrate on the side. I'll tell you something that I posted, and Megan knows, but I posted it in my stories because I'm too big of a chicken to post it on Facebook. Maybe I'll do a write-up, something on it on Facebook at some point, but I'm still a little bit of a chicken sometimes for these big things. But I posted my weight in one of my stories, and I'll tell you, I just hit the lowest weight I've been since college. And I will tell you, I really, really need to share about this because it could help someone else. That's the entire purpose of everything I just talked about. But a lot of people think you have to diet. And I really was in that mindset too. I had to diet hard and I would never be back at that weight. Oh no, I eat a lot of what I want. The only thing I've changed is that I'm exercising consistently and I'm actually giving my body the good fat and the nutrition that it needs. I'm not trying to do low fat, low calorie. No, I'm actually doing almonds and avocados in my shake, and I'm still eating pizza and I'm still eating cookies when I want. Like, it's so interesting. I've just taken out some inflammatory things and my weight has finally started. It really came down. I mean, I've lost over 40 pounds. So it's, to me, this morning getting on the scale was a huge, huge, huge. All right. 4 people in my 2-week challenge. Woohoo. That is awesome. That's awesome. Also my second best month ever. Money-wise. Yay, from Beachbody. Woohoo. I've eaten so many veggies this week. Struggles because Peter says I know, eat healthy and packing broccoli. Oh God, that's so hard. Oh my gosh, the judgment is so hard. I'd want to take a bunch of chips and guacamole or eat nuggets and fries that day. It's so wrong. It's so hard though when people think that you're supposed to be eating clean and you're up against a bunch of people that are bringing super, super clean stuff. VIP person for Clean Week, 4 people for pre-game challenge. Yay! These are awesome. Who did I not get? Oh, that's funny. I bet it does. I bet it does smell bad. Yeah. You gotta have the ice cream. I can't. Who can scroll up? Did I miss any? I can't scroll. It's not showing me how to scroll up. I also got a new MacBook, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and I still can't hardly figure out how to work it.
I give you use 2 fingers. Are you on a laptop?
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. No. Oh, yay, it worked. Oh my gosh.
Secretive.
This is also Mac training.
Yeah, I love Macs.
Woo. All right, guys, this is awesome. Yep, I think we covered everybody. Thank you all for hopping on. I really do hope this is helpful. Megan, do you want to close us out in prayer?
Sure.
All right.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this team. Thank you for the truth and wisdom and life spoken over us this evening by Rebecca. Thank you so much for her unique journey and how it can teach us as coaches on this Freedom Family, and for the things that she has learned and that we can now learn as well. I am just so grateful to you for every person that digs into this community and gives of themselves, because we are so blessed by that. Not only the friendship, but also just the support and the knowledge. Lord, those are gifts from you that we get to share with each other, and I'm so grateful. Please help us to take to heart what we have learned tonight, to identify the things that do hold us back in our business, to really get into that place that we're challenged, so that you can break in there and set us free of those chains that set us back from helping your children, that we need to reach out to, that we need to invite. Please humble us so that we can really change the lives of these people. And Lord, if we have fears and wounds, just heal them. I ask that you heal them, and set us free so that in our story we can inspire others with hope, and share the love that you have given us. We ask all these things in your most holy name. Amen.
Thank you.
Have a good one.